The character or moment that prompted the strongest emotional reaction for me was when the author talked about immigrants in Dearborn, Wisconsin, how they took Americanization classes. Then, for their graduation, they walked through a melting pot, which they began their walk dressed in their cultural adornments and singing songs from their home, from their country. But coming out the other side, they were wearing suits and singing the Star-Spangled Banner. This felt like a crude oversimplification of a long and arduous journey, and also taking into account what the Lees went through when they first arrived, like learning how to use a toilet, learning how to turn off a stove, or that they shouldn't hunt pigeons in a public park. So many of these things are easy for us. They're basic, they're common knowledge. We never consider what someone coming to this country might have to endure. And going back to the people in Dearborn, to have their cultural identity taken away from them in an amusing spectacle seems humiliating and almost degrading. Even though I see the point they're trying to make, that they've been assimilated into our culture, to, their into our country, but they're not who they were anymore, and that seems extremely sad to me. That all those things that they may have once been proud to be a part of, or proud to show, proud to celebrate, it was removed from them, in lieu of a suit and tie and the Star-Spangled Banner. It's just, it was almost enraging, that part. It really stuck with me. But moving on to what I've learned, I have learned a lot more and have come to admire and respect the Hmong resilience. Their resilience to change and conformity. They would rather fight or flee when infringed on, and as a last resort, death. They know what they believe and why, and they won't be persuaded otherwise. Which, to a point, that has preserved their culture for thousands of years. At the same time, from my own biased perspective, having been born in the US, that may provide an obstacle as far as advancements, but they don't seem to need them. They're more than content with their way of life, and they just want to preserve that. They just want to be left alone, which I understand. But they are just so solid in what they believe. If if you will try to move them or persuade them, they will just move. They will just leave and just find a space where they can be left alone and just, to speak their language, just, celebrate their holidays, to preserve their customs, to tell their stories and sing their songs. That's all they want to do, and why shouldn't they be allowed?